हेलो
हेलो, कितने बजे है? टाइम क्या हुआ?
So, good evening, everyone. It gives us immense pleasure to welcome you all to this Guru class. And like we mentioned, Unikaksha is a platform. I request all of you to mute yourself. Manjit, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, Manoj, you're audible.
Wonderful. Thanks, Lalit. So once again, it gives us wonderful, a pleasant experience to welcome you all on this pleasant evening. And we at Unikaksha, we are a digital platform who provides skill enhancement training and some specific job guarantee programs based on some skill levels. And we are connecting back to back with a lot of students every week to give them a specific skill set through our Guru classes. And in this week's Guru class, we are happy to have you here, where we'll be training you on how to create a portfolio website. So, isn't it boring to share your resume as a PDF or a Word document to a HR when it is compared to that of a portfolio? So you are going to build a portfolio website on your own, and if time permits, we will be showing you how this portfolio of yours can be hosted online on using some free free domains and hosting services, and you can share that as your resume henceforth. And this is going to be a unique skill with the current in the current industry setup, because the number of vacancies for full stack web developers is tremendous, is huge, and it is going to grow in future. We since we everything, every business out there, be it education, be it e-commerce, everything, and lot of startups rely on digitalization of resources, and almost everything after this pandemic has been translated into its digital form. So having said that, let this class be a foundation for your full stack web development skills, and we'll be having you to we'll be very happy to have you here and share your. We are very happy to share our skills with you as well. So we have Ms. Swati Yadav with us. She is an full stack developer herself. She is experienced in Java full stack and Python herself. She is currently on her journey to become a data scientist, and she has some 6 years of experience as a full stack developer in various industries. And we have her as our guest speaker today. And we thank Swati for her wonderful session coming up. And that would be all, everyone. Over to you, Swati. Thank you.
Hi everyone. How are you guys? And good evening. So, in this session, we'll be making a simple portfolio website using HTML. So largely HTML, because I think as many of you would, this would be the first step towards, programming maybe, and, getting your hands dirty in the fields of programming and computer science. So I thought that it would be easier for you to grasp, HTML first. And if you are an aspiring web developer or a web developer yourself, it is essential for you to have a portfolio website. Now, it lets you provide, information about yourself and showcase your best work with your relevant skills and experience, and your expertise, whatever you have right now. And, in the starting itself, I'll make it clear that I want this session to be an interactive session. It should not be like, I'm just making the website and you guys are not interacting. So let's make this an interactive one. Whatever doubts, wherever you feel you're not able to, understand, or whatever questions you have, just let me know, and you can also suggest ideas. And at the end, let's hope to complete our website. And, afterwards, you can also create one for yourself, So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what exactly we are going to make. So just a bit. So this is something that we'll start making today, with the website that I'm talking about. We'll put a picture, we'll talk about ourselves. We'll also put some, projects in it and achievements, whatever. It's basically a form of a resume that we have. So a portfolio is basically your resume, and it's going to help you a lot while applying for opportunities, and it's going to showcase your talent as well. It would be one added project that you can add to while applying for various job opportunities that you're going to apply for. And in this one, this is all that we have to make. So I think let's get started on it. So, when we talk about HTML, if anyone who can tell me what an HTML is?
Hypertext markup language.
Hypertext markup language. Okay, perfect. And what do you understand by markup language then when you say hypertext markup language? So what is it? Means anything that you understand with the markup language?
It is used for design layout form.
Okay, very good. For applying layouts and formatting conventions. Maybe it's basically where you have tags. So if you've seen the any HTML code, you will see. Okay, that you'll see that it's basically enclosed in tags. You have tags over there. That is what we'll be doing today. So I'm going to again share the VS Code. So we'll start with bit by bit. Okay, means we are going to make the header first, then. Okay, so we are going to make the header first. Let me show. I think I've stopped the screen share. So we are going to start with the header, and it's going to be exactly, I'm means what I've planned for you guys to make it in, a table form. So we'll be using tables here, HTML table, to build this entire website for you, a simple one. And later on, you can also put in more things into it. You can even add more elements to it, whatever you like. Okay. Now, what's a table? Anyone? In HTML, what's a table and how to create one? Anyone?
It's a collection of rows and columns.
It's a collection of rows and columns. Very nice. So what are the tags you use in HTML to create a table?
Table tag. By using
table tag. And then afterwards? Okay, then afterwards?
TR tag, TD tag.
TR tag, TD tag. Perfect. Very nice. Okay, so that is what we'll need for now to start coding with this website. So basically, what's the structure of an HTML? Anyone who can tell what's the structure of an HTML?
HTML tag, title, body.
Okay. Oh, HTML tag, title, and body. What about the head tag? Do we have head tag also?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah,
Yes, ma'am.
and what? Okay, and what is that? Why do we have what is the head tag used for? What is the body tag used for?
For headings of a particular.
Head tag is the Chrome. I mean, the opening page of the Chrome. Like here, it is HTML project.
Title.
Okay, one at a time. Yes, the opening. What did you tell me about opening? The opening of? So there is this HTML tag, which we also call the root element of the, of the HTML. That means it starts from HTML. It tells that this is an HTML code that you're going to write. Then you have an head tag enclosed into it, right? And what is basically an head tag? It contains all the meta information. It contains all the necessary information. Any any additional things that you want to add into your website, you're going to load the libraries over there. So it's about the meta information that you have. Then there is one which is the title tag, which gets displayed. Fine, whatever name you're going to put in the title tag, that gets displayed. Then there is the body. So the body tag is again a very important tag. And why is so? Why the body tag is the most important tag?
Inside the body, we have main content.
Inside the body, you have the main content or the container, which is actually the visible content. So whatever you see over here on this website currently, it's written in the body tag, okay? It's all written in the body tag. So if you're not writing inside body tag, that means it's not going to be rendered, or it won't be visible on your screen, fine? So let's get started. So I'm going to open up an editor. So I usually work on VS Code. So I'm going to share the VS
Yes,
Code
ma'am.
with you. So I'll show you an option for VS Code. So here I've already opened one file called as portfolio.html, and in this we are going to start writing for our portfolio page, which we have to start with today. Okay, pretty simple one. So with the same one, you can also, if you want to practice, what you can do, you can also practice on your end, open any editor, whichever you have. And whatever we are doing over here, you can practice it over there as well. So you can use Repelite if you do not have a VS Code or anything. You can use Repelite. It's also a great one to work with, or other HTML editors which you have, So we can keep it as more or less like a practice session as well, where whatever I do, you also practice on your end, so that you guys can retain it. Okay. So the first thing which goes when you start with is the doc type HTML tag. Okay. Now what's the doc type HTML tag? Why do we have this doc type HTML?
HTML5.
HTML5. Okay, perfect. Then basically your HTML tag, what you have. Okay. Everything whatever you will be writing, the head or the body will go inside the HTML tags. Okay. Then we have the head. Perfect. Then the next thing is inside this, you can also put something called as viewport. Anyone who knows something about viewport?
Resolution.
Okay. It's basically more of making your website, responsive. So whether you open it on, the full resolution of your laptop, or you minimize, so it will be responsive, basically, right? It's going to adjust to whatever boundary of your browser. Okay. So it's for making it responsive. So you have this viewport, and it's just one simple line that you write. It's content with device. So you're setting the width as your device width over here, and just scale. That's it. So this is one thing that we need. Then if you want to put any title over here, so you're going to write the title. So title is, this is also a tag. So it's going to, come like this. Now title is what gets displayed on your browser, the name, any name that you want to give. So you would give, means I'm just writing my portfolio. So that's it. That right now we want in our head tag, nothing else. Okay. Then the next thing what we want.
What that meta tag does?
It's the meta tag is for the meta information. Now here we have added this viewport for making your website responsive. Okay. So what do you understand by responsive? Anything that you understand by responsive?
No, ma'am.
Responsive means it's
For
open
mobile and
website or mobile also.
Yeah, exactly. So that it looks good on all the devices, in whichever device you're going to open it, it's going to be rendered on that particular device properly. It looks good on all of the devices that you have. So okay, it's going to automatically adjust for all the different screen sizes and viewports that we have. So one such way is to use this meta tag, and here you make it as a viewport to create your responsive website by setting the viewport. So this will set the viewport of your page, which will give the browser instructions on how to control the page, dimensions and scaling of it, right? So this is one thing. That is why we've put over here. We are not going into much detail about responsive right now over here. There is another thing, you have media queries also, which you can, put over here and make it even more responsive and good looking for all different browsers. Okay. Just keeping it simple, making use of viewport over here. Right? Okay, so now we'll start with the body. So the first thing which I said is I want to make the header section. Fine. So to make the header section, and this is one way to use comments. Now what are comments? I'm putting a comment just to give a clarity that this is the header start from here. So what is a comment?
H1.
Line number 10, I've created a comment. What is a comment?
Which is not compiled by the compiler.
Perfect. It's ignored. It's ignored and it's for your understanding. Okay. So in your HTML, this is one way. This is the way to create a comment over here. Okay. Now here, when we are talking that we'll make the header first. So I'm going to write table. I said we'll be using tables. Okay. And I'm going to give an ID also, which you'll see is helpful because if you ever, for the navigation purpose, if you ever visit any website and you click on the links over there, it takes you to another part. Maybe it scrolls down, it takes you to the another part of the website. So that is the navigation, one kind of navigation that you can have. So right now I'm putting an ID over here because I want to do some navigation into it. Okay, so if I click on maybe header, so I want to reach to another part, something like that. Or maybe if I'm in another part of my portfolio, I want to click over there and come back to the header. Okay, so that's why I'll be taking some IDs up here so that I can pass some hyperlinks. I can link the page, and move to different parts of my website just by clicking on particular, let's say, buttons or any text, whichever is there. So it's going to give me some navigation in my website. Then I'm going to give, width. Let's say I set a width of 100%. 100 means it's going to occupy the whole space, the screen size. Okay. Then if you want to set some background color, you can put BG color. Okay. So for background color, you have BG color. So any color, whichever color you want to give over here, you can write the names also. And if you do not want to put a name, you want to choose some color, there are so many shades of color that you can use. So for that, you can put hexadecimal values, RGB values, all of the values can go inside here. So in place of green, if you have a hash code for it, you can even do that. Okay. So right now I'm using green, but there are many color pickers available, which you can, from where you can choose some colors. The color picker is basically like a color palette. Okay? It has various values. Against any color, it's going to give you a hexadecimal value. It's going to give you RGB values, RGBA values, and you can choose and put it over here. It's going to work perfectly. Okay. Then after starting with your table, the next thing what is there? A table row. And what is the table row? What is the tag for it?
TR.
TR. Okay. So you write TR. Inside it, you have TD for table data. Okay. Now, again, so now work is over here, we'll be doing some nesting of tables to create that perfect border, perfect header, which we saw over there. So we are again going to open one another table. Okay. And here we can put the width as something which
border, ma'am.
You want to put a border?
Yes.
So put a border. So this is going to be a border. You give a value 0, 1 or anything. Okay, right? And 0 means there is no border basically. 1 would be some border. Then you set some width for it. Let's say the previous one was 100%. This one is inside the previous one. So I've given it 90% over here. And then where you want to align it, you can also align your table. So if you want to align it in the center, write the center value over here. Okay. Then again for this table, let's open another TR tag like this. And then again your TD tags. Okay. So now here the next thing what you want is, if you remember from the website which I showed you, there was my name coming. So I also need to add a name, my name. So instead of putting it in the first TD column, I'm going to create another. I'll show you why I'm creating another TD, and I'll write the name over here. So I could give a B tag. Anyone who knows what's a B tag?
Bold.
Bold.
Okay. Bold, for the bold one. Okay. So you write Swati Yadav for here. My name is Swati Yadav. So I wrote my name. And if you want to include any, styling, you could also do the styling in the TD tag for this particular or in the bold itself. I'm not putting any styling for now. We'll put the styling later on. Okay. After that, another TD. So why I'm leaving some TDs blank is to give some space. Okay. So if you're not leaving any space, it'll be too congested, the header. So that's why I'm leaving a few TDs blank. Okay. So the next thing after the name was to give a home, right? To create that whole navigation bar, which was there, the whole menu kind of thing, the nav bar. And in there, the first thing which I had was, let me just check again. It was home, about, projects, achievements, and contact. Okay. Now here, let me show you that what exactly it will do. Not a problem. Now here, if you see, whenever I'm going to click on this particular home, so it's going to navigate to a different part, right? So here we are creating hyperlinks. Now if I clicked on projects, it's taking me to another part of my portfolio. If I click on achievements, it's taking me to another, different part of my project. And similarly, if I click on contact, it took me down. Now I said for the header, I gave an ID and I said why it'll be useful, because when I click on top over here at the bottom, it's going to take me up. So now this whole navigation can be achieved through hyperlinks. Anyone who know about hyperlink? Anyone who knows about hyperlink? What's a hyperlink?
Go to the next page.
Okay, perfect. It links the pages, right? And you can navigate from one page to another. Yes? Come again, were you saying something?
To redirect to another hyperlink.
To redirect. Perfect. Very nice. To redirect or to jump, from one part of your website to another one. So for that, we have hyperlinks. And how to create an hyperlink. So for this home, as you must have seen, so when I clicked on home, it took me to, a different part of my website, or it shifted down a little. So for that also, we can create an hyperlink. So like A is the anchor tag to create a hyperlink. Then href is for the reference, okay? Hyperlink reference. Now here you can pass the ID. So I'll tell you, I'm going to create some IDs over here. So in the next part, I'll have an ID called as home. So here I can pass that ID. How to give an ID over here? As a value, you are going to put a hash, the hash, okay? Along with shift and 3. You press shift 3 together, you get hash. And then you write the name of the ID to which part you want to go to. Okay, this is how you're going to work with IDs. And now here you can give style equal text and decoration. You set the value as none. What is this text decoration none? Anyone who knows about it? What is this text decoration none?
It will remove the underline under text.
Perfect. So whenever you copy any, URLs from the internet and you paste it somewhere, you must have noticed that there underline comes under the links. So you don't want that over here. It's simply like you are creating links in your website and you don't want to have that underline under your text. So you put the style text decoration as none over here to remove the underlines from your text. Okay. Then just simply write whatever. The first menu was home over here. Then the next thing is to give some space. So you can leave one TD blank, or you could give any symbol. I'm giving one line operator over there to make some distinction. Again, the next part is to make another, another menu bar, which was there, the nav bar for it. Another value for it was about. Okay. So the same thing you can repeat again over here. So like this whole thing can be repeated, but now you can change what you want to. The next part was projects. Yes. So you can simply just create a project also here. So for project also, I'll have one ID and what was the next one after projects? Achievements, right? So the same thing. So it's like you're creating the same nav. You're just creating one nav bar with different, menus over there. So you can simply just change the value. So the next is achievement. So it would be achievements. Okay. And the last one was contact. So you could create what contact is for putting your contact details, or if you want to create a form, we'll see and create a form as well. So you could create a form. So sometimes you might have, seen some websites wherein if you want to contact the person, you put in your details and you get a call back. So you can create a form for that purpose. Okay. So we'll see how to do that. We'll also see how we can add direction map into our portfolio. If ever you're making a portfolio website for your business and you want to add the workplace, the directions to your workplace maybe, or the map for your workplace, you can do that as well. Okay. So that's it. So this one we can omit over here. This we don't need. And okay. So what we can do, save it, dispose it, go live. So right now we've created this particular nav bar that you see. Okay. In your, you can also change, you can also put some styling to it, which we'll do a bit later. First, let's create an HTML structure of it. the styling we can do, right? So right now we've created something like this, the top navbar which we have, and each one of them is actually a hyperlink which you will click and it will take you to another part, okay, of your web page. So this completes your header perfectly right now. Any questions so far that you've not understood in creating a header?
No, ma'am.
No? Understood? This header is understood, right?
Yes.
Okay. So this your header ends over here. So now the next thing which starts was, if you remember, let me show you the page. This one. So the next is this part where I wrote hi friends. You could write anything else also depending upon what you want to write. Okay, maybe any as whosoever you want to show it, you can write some relevant information over here. So you could create a home page. This is like your home home part. Means when I'm going to click on home, it's going to take me to this particular part of my web page. So if you want to add some images over here, add something else over here, you can do that as well. Okay, so keeping it simple, I'm just going to start with my home over here. So now how to make that, how to make that division again using just tables. So to make a table, write a table. Okay, let's give an ID. So because we have created a hyperlink in the navbar, so let's create an ID over here for this. Let's write home. And if you want to give any border, so the property for that is border. And you just have to set it to some value. Let's say 1. You set it to 1. If you want to cover the entire width of your screen, how to do that?
%.
With 100%. Okay. So you do with 100%. And then if you want to put any background colors, we can do that as well with the use of background color. So here you write background color equal and whichever color you want to put. So right now I'm putting black. Okay. Fine. Now the next is to open the table row. And inside it, you have TDs to work on. Right? Now, here also there is the nesting of tables, and then only you'll get a correct, output. So you have to create another table inside one table, and there you are going to write that hi friends. And if you want to give any other thing, or if you want to put images over there and any videos over there of your work or anything that you want to display, you can put inside it. Okay. So you create another table. And here, let's have a width. So it should be shorter than the previous one inside which it is nested. So let's give a width of maybe like 90%. Anything else that you want in it? Let's align it. Let's align this, another table at the center. So for that, you have align property. You just write center here. CENTER. That's it. Then the next thing is to open the TR tags. Okay. And what should go now over here? That you just write whatever you want to write. If you want to give any styling, we'll do that styling as well. So in the TD tag itself, here I wrote hi friends. You could write anything, whatever is, or if you have images, put images. Okay. And if you want to align it to the center, again, the align tag you're going to use, right center over here. That's it. Okay. So if you're going to, save it, go back to this particular folio. Okay. This is hi friends. So we have to give the color to R. So you can set any color over here for this particular, whatever we are adding over here. So to give a color, you can also use a font tag. Okay. So for font tag, you have a font tag, right? Font here. Enclose whatever you want to put, you want to have the font for, like this. And here with the face property, what you can do, you can give any font family, just give a font family name, whichever font you remember, like Times New Roman. Okay, so it's Times New Roman. Then if you want to set the size, you're going to write size equal and any size, whatever size you want to give it to your text. Let's say we give a size of 5. And if you want to set the color again, so you can give a color over here, color equal. Let's say we give a color of green. Simple, just like this. And again, save it, go back, and you will see that you've got Hi Friends written over there like this, right? So this is about your home. So this finishes what your home. Anything now that what you want to write, anything else that you want to include over here in your home section, you can do that also. You can have as many TDs and TR tags. And if there is more data to it, you can write that as well. That's simple. Inside your TDs only, you're going to write TD tags that we have. Okay, that's perfect. What we need right now. Now the next thing is here, it finishes with your home tag. Now the next thing what we have is after home, what we need. Can we stop annotating for a while? Now, if anyone could start with the about that we have, I'm going to show you again. And just give me ideas using TDs and tables and TD data and stuff. How will you create this about now?
Input.
So if you want to create something like this, how you can do that?
Option value.
We can use section 1.
Okay, sections.
Input option.
Input option. And what will input option do over here? Using TD and using table and stuff. So whatever we've done so far, using those only tags, you have to do this. So how can you do that? So if you have to write a table, how we create a table? What to write over here?
Table head, table body, table footer.
Table, okay, right? Open the table first. Then this is for about, okay? So you can give an ID. So what would be the ID name if any one of you remember? It was about, okay? If you want to give a border, what was it for the border, the property name?
Border.
Border, okay. So if you want border, you can give a border like this. Let's set a width. So for width, you can give width and it would be 100%. Fine. Then BG color. So the BG color is the background color. So if you want to set any background color, put the background color. Simple one. Let's put black right now. Now again, what's the next thing to do over here?
Table head, TH.
TR.
Here
TD.
and K.
TD.
Okay. So after this, what we can do is, so if you have to write that about me, okay. If you have to write that for about me section. Again, open a new table. Okay. Now, You have to give an image, you have to write that about me, you have to write some stuff about yourself. Okay.
Align left.
Okay, let's start with PR. So inside one table row, I'm going to put some data with the help of TD. Okay. Here I want the first thing that gets displayed in the about me section is the about me tag, which was there. Okay, so you write about me. Fine. You can also give some horizontal line if you want to give any line. So for horizontal line, what is the tag?
HR.
HR. Okay. So you write HR, and if you want to set any color for your, the horizontal line, you can write color equal, and you pass any color. So whatever color you want to give to your. So let's say we give green, as we have a green and a black theme going on. Okay. Then set the width for your horizontal line. Okay. So you can give a width as well over here. So how much width you want, maybe give that 100, 200 or something like that. So you can pass the width easily over here. So this is your TD, and this HR should come inside this particular TD, just below the about me section. Okay, like this. Okay. Now the next thing is to have another table row. This is one table row. Next thing is to have another table row. And in this table row, what you want is you want one photo of yours, right? You want to display one photo of yours. So that is, you have to use which tag to display a photo or display an image?
Images RC.
IMG.
IMG.
Image
Oh,
source.
perfect. Okay. So you write TD. You can set some width of this particular TD of yours. You can give a width of maybe like, let's say 50% of the whole. Okay. So let's give 50% to it. Then the next would be inside it itself, you can put your image. Okay. So here itself, you can open IMG and then SRC equal. Here inside this, you're going to give a path. If you have the, in the same folder, you just give the name of it. If you don't have it in the same folder, you give the entire path of it. Okay. What is ALT?
If image isn't showing, then the alternative context will be shown, which will return in ALT.
Okay, great. Then to set the width and height, so you can use width and height over here. So we can give a width of maybe like 300. It's in pixels, okay? HIGST height, and you can give a height of like 400 over here. That's it, and done for the image. Now to add an image, let's see if I have an image over here, else I'll be loading one. I can use this one. So see, this is the whole path to this image. As it's in the same folder, I'm removing the path. Okay, you can just give the name if it's in the same folder. So this is how you put an image. Now, what would be the next thing? What would be the next thing? After your image, you had some text written about yourself. You wrote about yourself, okay, in your about me section. So you'll write about whatever you've done so far. You talk about yourself. You talk about your accomplishments or something. So that can also be written over here. So you open another TD tag, okay, in the same table row. So here, just write about, maybe. So I'm just going to go over here. It's so much to write though. So coming back to my VS Code, this. So this is all we wrote right now. So any paragraph if you want to give, you can use a P tag also. You can simply write inside TD. It's going to be rendered. Okay. Now, how to make, like, if you remember going back to this Unikaksha is in bold. How to make any text bold over here?
B tag.
B tag. Okay. So you can use a B tag over here. Perfect. So how to use a B tag?
Strong
We will
tag.
see. Okay. Strong also. Yes. Perfect. Either B or strong. Both of them works the same. So type Unikaksha inside this B tags. So if you want to give some, let's say some styling to your font. So for that, what we can use?
Font.
Font face. Yeah, font tag. And then what is the face? Face is for the family, whichever font. Font family. Okay, perfect. Okay. So here what we can do, we have 50%, set the width of this also 50%. Width equals to 50%. And the next what we can include over here is the font. So write the font tag, and this would be the whichever 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 you want to use. You want to use Arial, right? Arial. You want to use Roman, use that. Give the size to it.
20 bits.
I simply like this person who is doodling. He's like okay, fine, this is the perfect thing I can do right now.
So, with that note, Swati, I believe you can hold on for some 10 minutes. Our academic counselor will be joining for giving a few descriptions about our programs, other programs. So over to you, Akanksha.
Okay, sure. Let me stop sharing then.
Hi guys, I hope I'm visible and audible enough.
Yes, ma'am.
Hi. Perfect. Hello friends, good evening. I hope you all doing well and taking necessary care of yourself and family. My name is Unikaksha Kirtivar and I'm academic counselor here in Unikaksha. I like to take some of the few times and minutes from your precious time and discuss some amazing facts. We already know the current pandemic situation that hamper us in each and every aspect. But still, we all are here safe and sound, working hard to add some value in our life. But I like to congratulate all of you guys that you are not only adding value, but uplifting your skills by adding one more star in your current bucket. In Unikaksha, our main aim is to empower students and help them to succeed in their career by adding skills that help them to build successful career along with their dream job. We are here to make students learn from the scratch to the polish. You may think why I'm talking such of the things, but it's a reality and I have a fact. More than 1 million engineering students passed out every year in India. But the question arises that how many of them are employed? I just gave a random guess. Like, can you guys give me a very random guess in the text box in a chat that how many of you think that out of 1 million students, how many of the student gets placed or employed in this particular year? And if I, very randomly, if I talk about the possibility of landing their dream job, it would be like, less than 10%. Students are just struggling to get a job. To be very honest, if I ask a very prominent question, that how many colleges are even bring placement in their institute? That is a very hard fact. And I know that sounds very cunning, but it's true. As a senior academic counselor, I understand the fact that there are so much of the potential. Yeah, I am audible, guys?
Yes, second.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, as a senior academic counselor of Unikaksha, I understand the fact that students carry so much of potential, but it simply goes on waste if they don't get a chance, like opportunity to show that. If I quote a very famous quote of a very business management guru of Philip Kotler, he always say that always add on skills. That is the only weapon that make you different from the others in the battle of life. Frankly, if we turn around, like we can see each and every student For a single student, there are 12 students as a competition. Now, the main question arises that how will you stand out from the others? So here, your skills, basically your skill set help you to make you understand and the stand out from the others. And in Unikaksha, it helps you to make yourself skilled not only in terms of certification scores, but also as how to make yourself presentable in interview. Yes, I think you guys, well, just thought about that. We are only enrolling here in Unikaksha just for the certification program, and Unikaksha just provide you certification course. But on the other hand, I will tell you one more important fact that you guys are not only here learning only certification course regarding Python and Java. You are here in Unikaksha. We provide you intellectual classes, along with the on-time coding and learning, and it provides you the n number of training along with industrial project and life project and internship that helps you to understand the reality that how IT sector basically works. We also provide soft skills training along with the practice interview that helps students to bring a confidence and help them to crack the interviews. We are not here as a mentor, we are not here as a teacher, but we are here as a family for a student until they reach their dream destination and dream corporate life. With this, I would like to wish you all a very good health and great future ahead. And yes, welcome to the successful journey with Unikaksha. I hope you guys land up to the, the dreamiest job, whatever you have guys are dreaming. And thank you so much for having me. And yes, let's continue the session with ma'am.
Thank you, Akanksha, for your wonderful insights. And over to you, Swati. You can share your screen and continue the class.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Okay, now coming back, I see some of you have a confusion why I'm creating a table. Creating a nav bar using a table. As in the start of the session, I mentioned that I am aware of the fact that there will be many of you which have zero coding background, and to introduce CSS over here would be not much of a good choice, as I wanted to keep it as a first session where you learn HTML. So that's why I'm not using nav property using UL. Okay, and I hope you understand not everyone is at the same level as you. Some of you can are. So I think that we should respect that thing and keep the session professional. Okay, perfect. Now moving on. Okay, so now moving on, the next thing is the font. So we've added the font over here. We've given a size, and you can also give some color. So any color of your choice could be given over here. Let's make it as white. Close this particular thing like this. Don't close a font over here. Instead, we'll be closing it at the end, after we've written the whole text. Now, the next thing what we have is so let's put it over here then. Any other styling which you want to do, you can apply that. So as you know, HTML also offers quite a lot of styling. Please feel free to apply it on your end. As I am working on, I would appreciate that you also work on, on your end from whatever we are doing over here so that you are in sync. Okay. So the next thing is, this is basically how your, about me section will look like with all the information. So we're going to run this, save it and run it again. So you will see that this is how it's looking right now, not much organized, but we'll be organizing it with some line breaks or, horizontal breaks, something like that. Okay. So we can do that as well over here. So like after cheers or cheers, should come in the next line. So all of that, let's try and do, give some, paragraphs into it. So here it said, next one. Okay, so after cheers, we can insert some horizontal line. Okay, and this, let's try and keep of color black itself, matching the background color. Then after cheers, we can include one line break. So which is done through the BR tag. Okay. And similarly, if you want, we can give some more HR tags in between so that to just, make them appear as a paragraph kind of thing. Okay. So that can be done. After this one table, the inner table is done. You can add a few HR tags to just give one, or to leave some space for the next section which you want to include. So that can be done through giving just empty HR tags over here. So give how much space you want to leave. For that, you can put some HRs or horizontal lines over here, just to separate the next one from the previous one. We are doing this, okay? So the next is that we've completed the about section, basically. So this thing, it completes your about section. About end over here. Now the next part was for your projects, okay? In the projects, you'll be seeing when we be writing for the projects, you'll be learning new things over there. That would be the list, okay? How to create list in your HTML. So that we can look over there. So here we are going to do with the project. Okay? Again, the same thing as we are using tables, just simple table, create a table. Okay, open a TR tag, give a TD tag. Now, here again, the same thing applies is that you give a width and also an ID for your project to come from your navbar to this, okay, to navigate. So I think I gave projects over there and to set the width of 100% so that it covers the entire screen size, okay. And let's set maybe a background color for this one. Let's set as white for now, okay. Then inside your TD, we are again going to create a new table. And here, the same thing applies. What we've done for the previous ones, as you could see that this is a very simple one. This is going to help you create a simple portfolio for you, but a good one. Applying a little bit of styling here and there and making right choices of what you want to put in your portfolio. It's going to come out as a beautiful one, as you saw earlier. Okay, and align this in the center. Now, the first thing that was there was the projects, okay, the heading. So you have to give the project's heading. Let's give a project heading. If you have something else in your resume that you want to include over here, maybe like educational qualification or something that has been covered, that can also be covered in the About Me section, okay, kind of little bit. But if you want to create another section, feel free to create that. It's not like you're not being restricted to just put these things over there, which I am doing. I'm just giving you a template kind of thing to create. If you have another sections to add on, please feel free to add into your portfolio, okay? So let's give a width. So 90%. And that's it. I think I've already aligned it. Okay. I think I was repeating the table. Let's align this one at the center first. And it over to column. So you can call. Anyone who can tell me what's the call span property in tables? Or why do we use it?
Create column.
Come again? Can you please be a little louder? Come again.
Creating column.
Creating column. Okay, but TD is giving number of columns. Okay, so it's going to stretch over those number of columns. Okay, so it's basically like a column spanning. So you're spanning over a number of columns that you have, right? So that is what a call span is. So this call span is, it spans over a few columns that you will be putting into your table. Okay, it's for columns only, but then it's about spanning over them. If you want to, sometimes you create a table, like you're creating any table, and if you want one row to be in just one of them, and then you try and create different, rows beneath it with different columns, but you just merge columns together. So call span is basically for merging. Okay, so you can use call span for that. Similarly, you have row span also for merging the rows together. Okay, so you can merge 2 columns, 3 columns together into one with the help of call span. So again, write any font, whichever font of your choice over here. So I think you chose Arial before. So let's write Arial over here. Then if you want to set a size to it. Maybe like 6, and give a color. So whichever color you want, let's give a color black on white would be okay. So this particular your project should go inside your font tag, okay? Because you're applying font on this text of yours. So that's it. If you want to give a horizontal line beneath it, for that you have a HR tag already discussed. Give a color to the HR. So you give a black color to it, and width. So you can set the width. How much space does it cover on the screen? So let's say we set it to 100 for now. Later on, we can also change that. Now you have written the title, how to add all of those projects. If you're going to look over here, so if I'm going to just bring it down a little, you have so many projects, means I've listed a few of them. But if you want to do this, how we can do that? How we can list these and also put an image.
List tag, UL tag.
Okay, perfect. List tag and UL tag. Okay, great. So after this TR, we are again going to, open a new row. Then again a new TB, right? And we are going to create a list inside that particular TB. So like this, so you're going to create a TB. Then you're going to create a list. So yes, come again, what you're saying? Are you saying something? So this is an unordered list. Anyone who can tell me what's an unordered list?
They don't show serial numbers 1, 2, 3 like.
Okay, yeah. They are like bulleted. Means that's not in a serialized order. Fine, perfect. So that's a unordered list. To create an unordered list in HTML, you have an UL. Perfect. Then the next is LI. So what is LI used for?
List.
List item. Okay. So LI is for list item. Perfect. So whatever your projects are, you can list it over here. Now let's say whatever your project you've listed over here, and you also have, you've hosted it, you've put it somewhere, and you want to show it over here on the click of your this, when you click on BMI calculator or any project name that you've written over there, how you can do that?
Anchor tag.
Come again?
Anchor tag.
Actually, your voice is not audible.
Anchor tag. Anchor tag.
Anchor tag. Yes. Perfect. Anchor tag. Yes. You can write an anchor tag over here simply. So wherever you've put this, you're going to pass the path over here inside. So right now I'm not giving a path. I'm just leaving it empty. And then style. So here what you can give is to show that it's, it's going to take you to another. So, but if you're creating an anchor over here, it's going to give you a underline, right? So you can remove that with text hyphen decoration.
Text decoration.
Colon. None. Perfect. Very nice. So you close it again. And here, whatever you want to put, or something, if you want to put BMI calculator inside it, you can also do like this. Okay. So then whenever you are going to click on BMI calculator, it's going to redirect to another link which you've set over here. Fine. So all of the projects can be listed over here with the help of LI that we have. So let's say you have 4 projects or 6 projects or 7 projects. You can write with the help of list item like this. Okay. And all of them, whatever this could be like calculator, if you've created a calculator or you've created any ticketing system, let's say. Okay. 1 second. So if you have created a ticketing system, or if you've created any swing application, Java application, .NET application, all of those projects can be listed over here. Fine. So whichever you've done. So like one that. Okay, so all of them you list over here like this. That's simple. You close the LI tag. Then the next would be what to do after you've listed all of them. You close the UL also. The UL is also closed. Then what to do? Anything else that you can add over here?
Image.
Image. Yeah, I'm going to add image in another TD tag. Okay. So here, just to leave some space at the bottom, you can give horizontal line. Okay. So give a color, maybe purple. Same color as that of the background, it's not visible. So just to leave some space at the bottom, put this. You can also do it with TDs or something like that. Okay. You're already using it inside a TD, that's why I'm using HR. Now to put an image, again, open a new TD tag. Now the next, what we can do over here is to set a image. Okay. So IMG, SRC, here, the whatever the path of your image is, wherever you've kept it, then that, and ALT. Here you will give some alternative text if your image doesn't show up. So this is going to be written over there. Set the width and height. So whatever width and height you want to set for it, set that width and height. Let's say I put 100%. Now this 100% would be 100% of the TD. So you could set some width for TD also over here. So let's say we set a TD width as 40%, okay, or 50%, anything, whatever, how you want to place it basically, or how you want to show it over there. So this is how you can do this. Let's save it, go ahead and see what we are getting. So we're going to scroll down. So right now it's so short because I've not added any image over there. Let's go ahead, add the image. Save it and see. So you have the image coming up over there. Now you see the projects are, kind of, you've not applied any font to it. So if you want to apply any styling to it, how we can do that? You're just using the font tag which we had. Who can tell me from where to start the font tag and how to apply? We've seen the font tag. We are going to use that one only. But where we can write it? Anyone?
I'm at line number 158.
158. Okay. Rather, I would say, why not put it after this TD tag, which is enclosing all the list items which we have, or all, the whole of the list, because you want to apply the, all of the, the project names that you've written. We can do that. Will that be okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So let's write font, pace, and whatever font you want to give. Let's give Times New Roman. Okay. And then set the size of it. Set the size as 6. Then the next would be color, whatever color you want to give. So any color of your choice you can give over here. Let's give black. That's it. Now this font should, it should close at what position? Where should you close this font? At what line number will you close
After
this?
the UL.
After?
UL.
After you will?
Line number 188.
Okay, perfect. We just simply close it over here. Okay. That's great. So that is what we are done with the project section as well. Okay. This completes the project section. Pretty simple, easy, and nothing much to worry about in it. If anything that you've not understood so far, please ask again. Any point, any line, any tag. Understood? Then let's move forward then. Okay. Now maybe the next section that I want to have in my portfolio is the achievements, where I want to put my achievement, whatever I've done so far. So for that, again, the same thing. The table tag that we have, the TR tag. And mind you, this portfolio can be made in a number of ways. If the next time we meet, we are going to see another way to make this portfolio. Let's use, maybe Bootstrap into it and make even more, let's say, even more good, let's say, or a better one. Okay. So as this is first one, try this. In the next one, when we meet, we'll create another portfolio or another website using more complex, the technologies that we have. Okay. So, TD. Perfect. Now, what should happen over here? The first thing that you have to pass over here in the table, this particular table is for achievements. Let's give an ID, right? So, what is an ID? Why do we have IDs? Anyone who can say why do we have this ID?
Ma'am, to make particular changes in a particular table, we provide ID or class,
Okay,
or to call them if we need any address.
So what about the classes? Like you have IDs. So ID is unique, or
Ma'am, please using grid system.
please use grid system.
Bootstrap grid system. It's very easy to table that.
Yeah, I know that. I've already said that we are having this easy one. I know that you know all of this. Okay, that's not a. Yeah, I know that some of you are even know more of what I might have to offer right now. But let's try and understand. I know you know table. I know you can create this on your own. But why not learn something out of it? Right. Okay. So ID, you said, is ID unique, or more than one tag can have IDs? The same ID.
ID should be unique. Class.
Class, more than one tag can have the same class?
Yes.
Yeah, and ID is unique. Okay, that's great. Fine. So any other, any other tag cannot have the same ID. Perfect. Okay, so
Yes.
here the ID we have is achievements. Then let's set a width, %. Then maybe like give BG color and give a color as black, white, anything of your choice, not a problem. Okay, then inside your TD you have another nested table. Now what needs to be written over there? The header for the achievement, right? The heading of that achievement. So to write that, how you can write it? Pehle to idhar, what we'll do is we'll give some styling to our table and give some properties. Jaise ki what we can give is width. Like set the width of this particular as let's set it to like 90% of it. Yes. And the next would be to align it to the center so that it comes into the center. So we are going to use the align property. And anything else that you can set over here?
Border.
Border you can give. Okay, perfect. Give a border like of one be okay. What is cell spacing and cell padding? Anyone?
Around the spacing the table.
Okay. So what is padding and what is spacing? Cell padding. Kya hota hai?
Padding is inside the deep.
Inside the?
It's called padding.
So when cell padding is the space between the cell edges, the cell that you have, the cell edge that comes up, the TD that you write, that is, okay, the cell which comes up between the cell edges and the content what you are placing inside that cell. That is your cell padding. What is cell spacing?
Table के अंदर का gap.
Table के अंदर का हर cell का, for each cell, how how farther nearer you are keeping each cell. That is your cell spacing. That is the space between each cell that you have. Okay? You can give cell spacing, cell padding as well. To give cell spacing, you just write cell spacing equal, and you give a space or whatever space you want to give, 1, 2, 3. If no, put 0 or even don't write it. You can give a cell padding as well. And for cell padding also you can set some space. Okay. Like any value you can give, like let's say 15 you give, right? This is a cell padding and cell spacing. Now the next is inside this table, you have another TR tag. And then what should come up? After this, a TD tag. Now, what you have to write in this TD tag? Anyone? What you can write should come inside this TD tag if you're going to look at this, output of what we are trying to make. This is what you have to make right now. Okay? This is what is required to be done. So you've created one inside table. You have one TD. So what should be the first thing that you write inside it?
List tag UL.
List tag UL.
So what you write achievements anywhere? Have we written achievements yet? No. Let's give the heading first, achievements. Okay. Now this you can provide some font to it using the font tag. Give some like font face equal, let's say any font of like, we can use Verdana also. Give a size.
Ma'am, please using table heading tag cap it.
TH tag, ठीक है, use कर लो TH tag. ठीक. So you can, you try it on your end. I've already
Caption.
ठीक है, caption use कर सकते हो, very nice. So you can use all of that. ठीक है. give color to it. And let's say you give a color of कोई भी अच्छा सा color जो तुम्हें अच्छा लगता हो. Give that color. Put your achievement inside it. Now, next thing is you can also give a horizontal line if you want to underline it. Give HR over here. Okay, and give some color again to it. Let's say you give green to it. You can set the width of your line. That's it. This is your one TD tag, which is having your, heading for achievements. Now, the next thing what you have to make is another table row. Okay, so after this TR, where you've done this TR, you have to open a new table row. You have to open a new table row over here. And now inside this table row, what you are going to do? What will you do inside this new table row that you have, that we are going to write inside? What can be written over here? So we can list all the achievements out, right? Using the TD. First, you create a TD or column, and then you just open your UL, LI tags like this. Okay. So your UL, LI, and whatever your achievements are, or whatever achievements you have, you start typing it down over here. Let's say whatever you've done so far. Okay. So achievements ho gaya, experience ho gaya, whatever is that you've done. Okay. So you can write everything over here. So एक experience का भी बना सकते हो आप. You can create one for experiences. The n number of experiences that you have. Means you could have been an intern somewhere, then you started working. What was the free? If you were doing any freelancing, right? Those all comes in your experiences. Achievements, whatever you've achieved, you got scholarship, you were the head of committee or something like that. Write all that here. Achievements. Okay. So here using the P tag, let's write that. So something like this. Then after this LI, after you've written this LI, now you have to give maybe like, if you go here, that I have given what I've done inside it maybe, and what was the duration for which I've done. So similar thing you can do. So to attain this again, you can create another unordered list inside the list one that you have. Okay, create a nested list inside this. So again, open a UL tag over here. Okay, create a list item like this, and write other whatever you want to write inside it, maybe whatever you did inside it. Okay, so similarly, any other point that you want to write, again create a new LI, okay, list item for it like this, and write another point whatever you have. So maybe like for the duration for which you were maybe the duration for which I was the head of this, so I'll write the duration here, okay, like this. So this is how you can create list inside a list. This is called as nesting of lists, that you have done a list, you are creating a new list inside an existing one or inside the outer one. Okay? So be wary of where you are closing all of the tags. Just like this one started here and it's ending over here. The rest of the work you've done inside it. Okay? So you can have an unordered list inside an ordered list. You can have an ordered list inside, an unordered, or vice versa. You can have unordered inside. So that doesn't matter. Aisa nahi hai that if you're working on an unordered list, you can have only an ordered list inside it. You can have a OL as well over there. So for ordered list, the tag is OL, right? The tag is what? OL. Like this is an unordered one. The tag that we have over here is UL. And if you wanted to create an ordered one, that would be OL. That would be the numbered one. Fine. So after doing this much, the next what you can do is that here your LI is ending. So to create more or to list more of your achievements, again, create a next li1. So you can list as many achievements, as many experiences that you have just using li tags, just using the ul tag that you have. It's simple. It's pretty simple. Anything which is not understood so far, please ask again. Anything that you think that, I'm not able to grasp, I'm not getting what we are doing over here. So far, so clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay, perfect. So let's go ahead, run this. So now you'll see I've made a few changes in that. Now here, this is what your achievements look like. As you asked me to put a border, that's why you can see a border over there. We've not aligned the achievements in the center. We've not aligned it to the center. That's why it's coming on one side of it. Okay. So if you want to align it, you just align the achievements at the center. Okay. So this, you can align it at the center over here. Like this. And also that we've given a border over there for the table, this table that we've created. That's why you were able to see the border. If you don't want to see the border, the need border, what was there, you can remove the border or give 0 over here. Okay, that will remove the border from there. So if that depends what type of layout you want. So right now, maybe I do not want the bordered layout. That's why I'm not putting borders. If you want the bordered layout, you can now. I've removed the border. It's looking more neat to me. But let's say yours is, you want to put borders, please go ahead and put borders. That's not a problem. Okay? But whenever, one thing just keep in mind, whenever you are making your portfolio, okay, keep it simple. Keep it good looking, yet simple. Don't put many elements into it, many elements of styling into it. Style it, but the minimum, the minimal is the best sometimes. So make it a good make a good portfolio, whatever portfolio you're making. Do not just crowd it with all the styling elements that we have. Okay? Jitna simple hota hai, kabhi kabhi wo bhi acha lagta hai. And it's not like that you have to crowd it all with all the styling that all the fonts that you are, keep it simple, keep the fonts, whichever font you are using. Try and keep the fonts also, uniform all throughout. If you have so many sections, keep a font. Keep one format, for all of them. And also not much of the styling. Styling is okay. Styling is good. But sometimes what happens is what I've seen is that there'll be people, those who are going to put so many elements into the portfolio and make it, sometimes confusing and, try to showcase everything that they know. But remember that portfolio is something that showcase who you are also. Okay, as a programmer, as a person, whenever you are creating some things like it, make it good. But again, do not make it crowdy, with all the styling elements that you have. But make a good one. Okay, keep it simple. But whatever you put into it, keep in mind that it should not be too much crowdy. It should show the professionalism that you have to show, because portfolio is your resume, right? It's your CV that you're going to, give it forward. So if you're putting everything into it, so, in a resume also, if you've written a resume, if you have a resume, you just don't, make colorful borders into it. You just don't do that on all that. But yes, now here you have a chance to include images. Here you have a chance to include, various links of your projects, of your work that you've done, maybe like a little video of, what you've done so far. That is all right. But still try to be professional when creating one. Okay. So, we've done till achievements. Now, the next that we have to do is the contact detail. Now, there is one very interesting thing that we'll see, which is how to add the directions. Okay, you might have done it, you might have not, but we'll see how to do it again. If you've done it, just bear with this, because I don't know if many have done it or not. Okay. So we are just going to see how to add location. So if you want to add the location, you want to show the map as one that I have in my portfolio. If you want to do something like that, that is really easy to do. Okay. So in the contact section only, sometimes if you're making a portfolio for your web, for your business, let's say you have some business, you have, whatever office, and you want to create a portfolio for that purpose, you provide the details also, right? You provide the place of work. And if you want to show that, you can do that with the map. Include the Google map into it. We'll see that. We'll start with table, TR, and TD. So this is the basic thing. Okay, inside this, we are going to write the rest of the thing. So one thing for contact is to put the ID over here, contact, and then you can write the width to cover the whole entire screen. For that, so I'm putting width this much, and you can give some digit color again. Give any color of your choice, whatever, maybe like white. White would do right now. Okay. Then again, inside this, let's create a table to include the information what we want to write. Let's create one row and TD again. So this table needs some styling right now. So the styling would be, let's give a cell padding. Cell padding of any, of any, whatever number you want to give over here, 15, 20, that depends. And you can all try this out later, after the session. Just try it out, what we've done. 80% I'm giving, and you want to align it at the center. So just align it at the center, the whole table. Right? Then for your TD again, so here this also can be aligned at the center. So whatever text you write inside it, that will come inside at the center. And you can use call span to 2 or 3 columns, whatever, how many columns you want in it. Okay. Then you write contact in it. But before that, I want to put some font to it. So I'm going to use font, face, equal, using Times New Roman again. And then you can give a size of 6 will do, and a color. So a color of black. Okay, like this, and write your contact information like this. So this is the heading, just the heading of it. And if you want to give a horizontal rule below it, write HR, give a color of black, let's say. And another would be the width, to set the width of it. Kinda, right now I'm setting it just 200. That depends what width you want to keep of it. Okay. So then the next is, after putting this heading, the next what you want inside it is to display the form which you have. So if you're going to go over here, you'll see, okay, here we have a form and we have this map. Okay, so that can be done. And then the next part is to create this, just the footer at the bottom. So in this contact information part, what we have is a form. How to create a form? Many ways to create a form. Okay, so we look into one today, but before that, in the same one, we have to put this map as well. Okay, so let's do that. So after this table row, let's again create a new table row to take the two, the map and that form here. Then open your TD. Then here, how to include a map. So for this, I already have something for you. That is a Google map that we have. So you can simply just embed that map over there. You do not have to write the whole code. You can just go to this particular website Okay. And here, when you come on this, here you can put your location. So whatever location, okay. So whichever location you want the map of, you just write that particular location over here, and you'll see the map gets up, loaded on the right hand side. Next part is to generate the HTML code. Here you see this is an iframe. Okay, you just simply just copy this thing, come back to your code, and you just place that code wherever you want to display the map. Okay, so wherever you want the map to be displayed, you're just going to paste that code over here. No need to write the whole code. Any changes required in the code, that is up to you if you want to give any changes to it. So I'm simply just going to embed that. And how to embed? You just write the code, okay, inside it. Now, the next part is, so after you've done, you've embedded the map into it. You can see the map also. Let's go to the portfolio one. So you see the map has come up over here. Okay, any changes you want to make to the map, you're most welcome to do that. Okay, the size, maybe if you want to change the size, do that. The color, all of that is written over here. You can go and see it later on. Okay, after that, the next thing, what we want inside it is the form that we have. So simply of our HTML, we can use the input tag over here. Okay, of the HTML input tag can be used to create a form here. Fine. So for that, not here, inside the same table row, you can have another TD where you are going to create the form. So now this TD, you can align other center, right, whatever, wherever you want to align it. Okay, that's up to you. And then inside this, you're going to again create a new table. Okay, and inside that, you're going to create a form. So here, create another table, give a width to it, and let's give a width of 50% of the whole space that we have. Give self padding to it. Give a self padding of maybe like 15 px, and we are already aligning it to the center. So to align this whole table to the center here. Okay. And if you want to set some background color of that, so set the background color from here. White, black, that depends, whatever color you want. If you don't want to give a color, you can also give an background image over there. That's all up to you. Okay. Then tr, table row. So now you have to give whatever you want to write. So in one row, you give name. In the next row, you give, whatever the contact information you want. You want email, you want name, you want phone number, message. So all of this, one row means name and this input, text box that we have. Then again, email and the text box that we have. So we are going to write this, and this is going to be row wise. In one row, you will have name and the text box. Okay. So to do that, again, we can write just name first. Okay, first is your TD, and then you write your name inside it. So let's say you write name. Give a hyphen or a hyphen. If you want to give hyphen, you can also use some symbols over here, the HTML elements that we have. Okay, so you can, that can also be used. That depends, whatever you want. And the styling, that is all up to you. You can set the width of this particular, the one that is going to have the input text box for you. You can set some width for it. So let's keep it as 70% of the whole row. Okay. Then your input tag. So you open the input tag, you write the type. So this type attribute that you have means it tells that this particular input box will take what type of information. It can have text. So you write text here. Right? So a number will have a number, email can have an email, all of that things. And what should be the size? So you can set some size of it. Inside this particular box itself, close it. Okay. Close the TD. Perfect. Close the TR. So one table row is done. Similarly, do the next table row like this. Open the TD. Now the next thing what you want is, again, how can you write? Next is your email. You can write an email over here as we've done the name. It's simple. Then again, open a new TD. I'm not doing styling right now. As you can see, I'm just creating a simple form for you. Okay. Input type equal. And here you have a type called as email for the emails. Okay. So you can write email. Fine. So you write 40 and close it. Now here again, so we have name, email. So this row is done. So for phone number, do we have to create another row? Yes. So create another row called as TR. Okay. And inside it, create TD. Now here it is for number. So you can write phone number or PH number, whatever you want the data to be. That's on you. And then again, open a new TD. Here, the next thing would be, I have missed writing a width for this text box, width equals to 70%. And for this one also, where I'm having the input text, I'm writing width equals to 70%. Okay. Now here again, open the input tag. With the use of the input tag, you're going to write the number. Okay. Anyone who can tell me the type of it? You have a
Number.
Number. Perfect. Very nice. Thanks. And you can set some size of it. Okay. And close it. Okay. Then the next what you have is you've done till number. Again, open a new TR. And here you can either create a text area also for the message or for the comments, you know, if you want them to give you any comments about, you know, if they have any query, you can write for the query also a comment. So that is something, you know, a bigger area you want for comments. So for that, there is another tag called as text area. You can use text area in place of input tag over there. Okay. So we can use text area. First, we are going to write TD. Here we can give, let's say, comments. Okay. The next would be, again, the TD that we have. And inside this TD, we'll have text area. Okay. So write text area. And in this text area, I have two things that you have to specify. The number of rows. It's like, you could say it's like a multi-dimensional array. So you have rows and columns into it. So you give some rows or the area. You specify the area for your text, okay, with the help of rows and columns. So you give some rows over here. So how many rows you want to give, you can give those rows, and you specify some column area also, okay. So for rows and its calls. So any number of columns, let's say 40. Okay. So this is your text area like this. So this, you're not writing inside anything because that needs to be written by the user of your website that you're creating. So you will not write anything inside it. So here you go width and 70%. Yeah, something like this. After this, what is left is to give you a submit button, right? For your website, for this contact form, you also need to have a submit button. So when someone, puts in their contact, they can submit it and you get notified about the same. Okay? So that is again something that you have to write. Again, open a new table row, TR tag. Now here, first column needs to go empty. Okay, nothing over there. You can specify the width for this one. Width equals to 30%. And in the next one, again, you leave some spaces sometimes. Some columns you do not want to put anything, you leave that. You just create a TD and you just leave it blank. Do not write something. That means you're not writing something to it. That is something blank you've left. So you could do that also. Okay? Totally acceptable. ऐसा नहीं है. So every time you create a TD, you have to give some information. You have to write something inside it. No. Sometimes you just want some space to be left in your forms, or in your tables, and you do not want some data to come up over there for some better positioning of the elements on your web page. So you do that. Now here you will create a button. So for button, you have a button tag. And what type of it is? Sometimes it is reset, sometimes it is submit. So if you want to submit the data, you are going to write submit over here. Okay. So you put submit as a type. So this is just the front end that you're creating, mind you. If I have button pe click kar rahe hain, where is the data? It's not coming. We are just doing the front end right now. Maybe in the next one, we can also, put some backend into it, save the data, retrieve the data, and do all of that. Fine. And if you want something, whichever you want to display on the button, you simply write inside the two button tags. So I'm going to write submit information or submit like that itself. If you want to leave space after the button, you can put an HR tag. That's totally up to you. Okay, put an HR tag over here. And you just simply put a color to it. I think we put it as white, so we can give some white HR tag. So this will complete.
1 second, Swati. We are sharing the poll with all the students so that they can complete and give their feedback about the session. So once that is done, we'll be completing. So I request all the participants to give your honest feedback here, and we'll quickly proceed. Thanks for your feedback, everyone. It was wonderful knowing your response. Swati, you can continue.
Thanks, sir. Okay, so okay, so we've done till the button. We've created the form and everything. So let's save this one. Go ahead here to my portfolio, and you will see you have this particular form. Okay, so yes, for this the text which is not coming up, is not appearing well, is because we've not given any color to the text that we are writing. We can specify the color over there using the font face command. Okay, so that is one thing that we can do. Again, the next thing that we want is, we've done with the contact. If you want more amendments into it, please go ahead, do it. Okay, so here we've done with the contact section. Now the next thing is to put a footer. Like we had an header, we can also have a footer. You can create a footer for, you know, any of the website that you have. So to do that, simple, you have a footer tag also, not using the footer, as the whole session is about exploring tables, how you can use tables to make, you know, good websites out of, and not just creating those, you know, table kind of structure. So that's why we're not going ahead with the you know, footer tag that we have, but using again the table one. Okay, so I know you might be thinking for once that we have tags, but this is one thing that we can see, you know, that all the elements which are there, all the tags that we have in HTML, they are so flexible. Who could have thought, means sometimes, that you can create so many things out of just with the table tag. You know, you can create your whole portfolio out of just using the table tag, and with a little bit of, you know, the ULLI tag, or maybe just a little bit of styling, right? So again, not using the footer tag, but the table tag over here. Let's use table. And here the ID would be ID equal, and this should be footer. And here, if you want, you can give some background color to your footer as well. So give some background color, and like this, black, green, whatever suits you. Okay, जो भी favorite color हो, please put that. या जो भी अच्छा लगे. So अभी तक ये तो पता ही चल गया होगा. You might have got the idea कि भाई, my instructor's favorite color is black. She can't think of any other color apart from black sometimes. Right? So, okay, moving on. TR, TD. Then what is that we have to display in the footer section? So let's see what is it that we have to display in the footer. This particular part, the copyright symbol, and anything that you want to write about your business. Okay, ठीक है, हो सकता है तुम्हारी business site है, तो अपना कोई business है, उसका कोई जो भी तुम्हारा company का name है, you can write that also. And this one top thing that we have, you could put a symbol over here, you could you know, put an image over here, on which when you click, you just roll up to the top of your website. That is all up to you. Okay, so how to do that? Just wrapping it up in a bit. This is the last thing that we have to do. Okay, table खोला, TR बनाया, TD बनाया. Then what goes over here is table. Okay, up over here, table again. In this one, please put a width of 100%. Here, this one would be width of smaller than the previous one, which is enclosing it. So let's say we take it as 90%. Okay, and you align this at the center. It's going to cover up from the center. And so, and if you want to give any padding or spacing, that is all up to you. Right, cell padding, cell spacing. Then in the TD one, the first one that we have, we are going to write the copyright and the name of the company and so on. Okay, so I'm going to write over here. So here you can give some width to it. So how much, you know, you want it to cover the entire row of it. So specify that. Let's say I just give 80%. I wanted to cover the entire thing, you know, for the 80% part of it, and or maybe like 90% part of it. That depends. So you have given this, and inside it itself, you could write a B tag. And for the copyright, anyone who knows for the copyright, what is the, you know, how to write a copyright symbol? किसी को पता है how to write the copyright one? It's simply ampersand. You write copy and you put this. Okay? So this will give you a copyright symbol over there. So I'll write sure. Fine. And you can put a break and I could write reserved, something like this, and that's it. If you want to put some font to it, please use the font tag for it. Next, after doing this TD, you remember I told you about rolling up to the top. So for that also, you're again going to open a new TD. Okay, another column for that. Specify the width, whatever width you want to give to it. Let's say we give a width of 10% over here. Fine. And it's a link. It's a link. So you have to use anchor tag. Okay, use anchor tag href equal. You remember that we've taken an ID for the header as header. So you just pass header over here like this, header. And then the next is what goes over here is style. Okay, equal text hyphen decoration colon 9. Okay, and you close this anchor tag. After that, you just write, I think we wrote top, so I'm going to write top. And I'm going to put it as the bold. Okay, so I'm going to write top like this. Perfect. I think anything left, anything which is missing, anything that you think that we might have missed so far? Hope not, right? Okay, so let's just run it and see what we get. So you have the, the footer also over here, but again, you can use some font to give some color to your text. As you can see, the text is not coming. It's the same color as that of the background. So you can give some text over there. How to give the color to your text? So that was with the help of the font that we had, right? So here itself, you could write font face equal and any, let's say Arial, and you could give color equal, you can give white, black, green, any color of your choice, any, hexadecimal value of the color, that's all up to you. I'm leaving, give 3. Okay. Aisa, okay. Perfect. You don't have to close this font over here. Where will you close it? Anyone? At this particular line, 345. Okay. So here you're going to close it. Then again, for this top also, you can simply use this styling for the font as well. So after this, you can again have a font tag, font face equal Arial, size 3, 4, whatever you want to give the size of it, and whatever color you want to give. More properties are there, more attributes are there. Please try, please, make this on your own.
Blue.
You want to give blue? Perfect. Okay, fine. After this, just close it over here. So now it's okay, right? You have this blue over here if you're going on it. So you see we've come at the top of it. It's not well right now. What we've done, we've not given much of a styling, but we can give of it, provided whatever the use case is for you. Fine. So this sums up our portfolio website that we wanted to see. The styling is all up to you. I leave it on your imagination what you want to do with it. But the basic portfolio that you can create knowing just HTML, that you've done this using just table tags and li tags. This is something easy for any beginner also to see, right? If any one of you over here who's not much of a programmer, And this is something for the first time that you've seen. I hope this should or would have helped you a lot in seeing that using just one basic tag of HTML, using one table tag, and using just ULNLI tag, we've created a portfolio. The rest, styling, yes, you can add styling, make it more appealing as you want. But I hope that you might have understood and you are taking a lot from this session today than you expected out of it. Any questions?
Ma'am, can you give us code, HTML code that you are
Oh,
written?
yes, perfect. Yes, I will give you this code. Whenever you will have the this particular live stream available with you over there. Yes, along with
I'll take it. Yes. To participants, the certificates will be shared with you on Monday. And once you receive that certificate, it is very important that you showcase your skills to the industry. So when you receive the email, it will be by default it has some buttons to share it online on social media and on other professional media. Likewise, you will also get the code from Swati. Whatever Swati has shown you today, you will also get the code along with that email or in a separate email, right? And most probably you will be getting it on Monday or Tuesday. Please check your emails and check your spam box as well. Many students have got it over there as well. And Swati, if you can go to the chat box, a lot of students have asked their doubts. So in
Yes,
terms of using the rupee symbol, in terms of using the Google Maps and so on. And this session is open for questions. We'll be available for the next 5 minutes for question and answers. If you have any questions, please shoot out.
Yes, for that only, the Google map which I showed you, that is the one link that you can use from where I did it. You can also do it this. Let me just share it in the chat box. So this is the link that you can use to put a Google map directions from, and you just have to embed the code, and you get the code, you generate the HTML code, and you just use it wherever you want to use it. Okay, not much. Means it's not a hassle for you. It's already been done, which is a great thing. I think that so many things have been done. We can just make use of it, right? And about the rupee symbol, about the other symbol, there are HTML elements that you can use. I will share that also. Okay, just a second, just giving it to you. There are different codes which you can use for all of them. Okay, like this ampersand copy you had. Similarly, other HTML elements also, they have different Unicode. If you know char set, so you can use that for that. Just a moment, just let me share it. So these are your entities which you can if you'll go and search for the HTML symbols, there are HTML symbols writing in the chat for you, or entities, like if you want arrow sign to be placed somewhere, you want by conditions to be placed somewhere, you can just simply search for HTML symbols or entities. You will get all the the codes which are there for them. These are like hash codes which you can use simply. And there you will get for rupee also, you will get for the pounds also, for dollar also, all of them you get over there. Okay, that's not a problem. So you can simply search for HTML symbols or entities and you just get it over there. Like you have ASCII symbol, if you know, like for A you have a different code which you can use. Similarly, you have all for to make a task easier. So you cannot simply just type those things out of from the keyboard. So they've given or defined some let's some number against it, some code against it that you can use. So if you're going to search for, let's say you want to, make a arrow or a leftward arrow or a rightward arrow, there is an HTML code for it as well. It's basically writing in the chat for you. It's for the arrow, it is 105, I think, and 21. So if you're going to use it somewhere in your HTML code, it's going to give you a arrow. Similarly, you have these HTML symbols and entities. Please search for it. You will see you get all of the symbols over there in terms of these codes, and you can use those codes, those HTML codes, in any of your HTML program that you are writing, any of the the file that you are writing, and it's going to convert it from this code to the symbol that you want. Okay. Please search for HTML symbols and entities. Any question, anything else? The source code and the certificate is already been made clear by Manoj sir, right? And I'll make sure to provide you with the code, and even provide you with the with the much of a styling as well, as we are not any styling also to add into it and to give you. I see the concern that there were many of you who thought that we could use different things over here, but I just wanted to make it as a first class where you know that how one tag can be used in different ways to create different websites. You could use this in so many. You can also use div tag, which was a good point I see over here. Yes, you can. Then again, that just to keep it simple for you guys in your first class, I wanted to do this. The next time we meet, I'm going to make sure that to include many elements into it. Fine. Any question?
No, ma'am.
No?
Nothing, ma'am.
Perfect. It was nice meeting all of you, and I hope you guys reciprocate the same. Okay. And it was a nice experience, really.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Swati, for your wonderful time and wonderful session on building a portfolio website. So another general information is that for viewers who join late, you can find the recorded session on our YouTube channel. I'm sharing the YouTube link once again. So please feel free to subscribe, and you can always have a look at our previous classes, previous Guru classes. And the next week, Saturday, again, we have a Guru class, and where we are going to discuss about Microsoft Azure. Right. So, this is what this has been a practice at Unikaksha, where we have a lot of Guru classes, micro skill based classes for everyone, for the student community. And these sessions are available for free on YouTube and on Facebook. Please do follow our channels. And the most important thing is, please have the same motivation as you have today, because I know it is a Saturday evening and you have spent some 2 hours with us. So that is really wonderful, and I appreciate all of you for your patience, for your participation, and your interactions today. So thank you, everyone. Have a good night, and have a great weekend. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.